Hey everybody, welcome back to Eileen's Craft Nook. Well, with Valentine's Day approaching, I don't have many Valentine's molds, but I do have this little heart container. Could be a little candy dish, trinket dish, whatever. So I think I'm going to do that one today, and I have this one which I can make little keychains out of, and they're just little hearts that have like the holographic designs in them. And I got out a variety of red glitters, some fine and some chunky. So these are all from, well, these are from Michael's. This one's called Color Red Shift Fuchsia. This one's called Berry. This one's called Garnet. This one's from Let's Resin. It's called Wine. And this one was just from a dollar store, and it's just a red. It came out at Christmas time. And I also have, excuse me, a little bit of gold I might mix in there. And this is, again, I think this was actually Dollar Tree. So what I started to do is I wanted to see, using the Let's Resin Chrome markers, this is the gold one. I wanted to see, excuse me, if when I applied it to the ridges, if it would stay on there. Because you know how sometimes markers kind of, like they're like watery and they just kind of repel from the mold. So this one, so that's what I was playing with here. That's what I started. And I wanted to see, yeah, that's pretty much dry now. So I think it's going to work. So I'm going to use the marker first, and I'm hoping when I pour the resin in it, the marker comes off with the resin. It doesn't stay with the mold. So I'm going to head and finish this, and I'm going to do it in both the lid, and then I'm going to invert the mold, the bottom part, and do that as well. Now I'm just doing the top of the ridges. I'm not trying to do the sides or anything like that. That would make too much of a mess like I just did. Easy enough, just use a little bit of isopropyl and one of these little cotton tip things, and you can clean up any lines that you did not mean to make. Like so. And then the isopropyl will evaporate. And I'm using 99%. So I'm just going to go ahead and do these. Okay. So as many of you may know or may not know, I'm in Ontario in Canada, and it's been snowy here. For any of my viewers who live in the Florida area, my mom winters down there, and I know that you guys have experienced more snow, I believe, in Florida and the Texas regions than you're used to. So hopefully you had some fun with that. And if you didn't have to drive, even better. I must say, I really like these markers. It came in as a set of 3. I did purchase them on Amazon. At the time I purchased them, there was a coupon for, I don't know, a couple bucks off or something. But I would purchase these again, and it came in the 3 colors, like this gold, a silver, and I think the other one is like a copper colored. I've used them now a few times with projects, and they don't seem to get, you know, some markers, I don't know, I've had markers in the past where they using them and they're dripping out and it just makes a mess, and these don't seem to do that. So now I'm going to let this dry before I pour the resin, but I don't think it takes them that long to dry. Just trying to get this so I can get in the lip, and I'll check before to see if any parts need a second coat as well. but they do seem to go on pretty nice. Okay, so I just have one little spot to fix, and I obviously touched the spot with my fingernail because it came off on it. Okay. Clean that up so we don't have any gold where we don't want it. Now for this one, I'm going to turn it right inside out, do the same thing. I'm going to let it dry inside out so that when I flip it back the right way, gold doesn't go where it's not supposed to go. And again, I'm just going to do the tops of these cross hatches. I'm not trying to fill in the whole thing. I know I wouldn't be able to do that without making a mess. And like I said, hopefully this comes off with the resin. If it doesn't, some of you may be hollering at me right now that don't do it, stays on the mold. I think it will though. I think it's going to come off. I need a little cleanup. All right, I'm just going to finish this up, and then I'll be back when we start mixing up some of our glitters and see what looks good together. Okay, let's mix up some glitter for the trinket dish. I'm going to start with this one, which is it's a chunky glitter called Color Shift Red Fuchsia, and this is Recollections, which is I get from Michaels. So we're going to put some of that in there. I'm going to mix up quite a bit. I don't care if there's some left over. I'll just put in a different container to save for later. But I need enough to do that whole trinket dish. So now to that, so that kind of has some reds and purples and pinkies in there. I have this one from Michaels called Rose, which is again another chunky glitter. So I'll put a little bit of that in there. And maybe we'll put a little bit of gold in there, just to, not a lot. Now, do I want to add some darker red, this garnet? I'm just throwing it all in. I have this pink, just came from the dollar store. I don't think I've used this one. Gotta take the lid off of it. So I'll put a little bit of that in there. Let's just give that a little mix with a spoon and see what we have. It's pretty. I think I'm going to add a little more gold to it though. And I'm going to add more of the color shift. I want to make sure I have enough to do the dish. I like that. Okay, that's what we're going to go with. So I'm going to put some into a cup. I probably have to pour this in a couple batches, so I'm going to put, I hope I have enough in there. I don't want to have to mix this again. All right, I'm going to get my resin. I'm going to put my mask on, so I'm going to switch over to a voiceover. And while I get the resin. All right, so I'm just going to get this resin mixed up. Forgive me, guys. I have a little bit of a cold, so I'm a little bit hoarse. I'm going to use some of the Let's Resin Bright Red Resin dye. This is a translucent dye. I didn't add too much. I think it was about 4 drops to this little medicine cup. And just to give it a little bit of color. And then I'm going to give it a good mix and pour it into the trinket jar. And, you know, just kind of move it around a bit to make sure there's hopefully no bubbles sticking in there. I did put this through the bubble remover, but, you know, adding the glitter, mixing it up, that introduces more bubbles as we go. Now, I decided, I had thought about adding some glue to this, you know, so that the glitter wouldn't all settle down, but I decided against it. I'm quite fine if the glitter kind of settles down to the rim of the trinket dish and it's a little clear at the towards the bottom of the dish. If that's what happens, that's fine. I won't know. I have quite a bit of glitter in here, so it may not be that noticeable. And I'm going to do the same here with the lid. I didn't have quite enough mixed up for the lid, so I just decided to add a little bit of clear in there just to push around. Sometimes your lids come out a different color anyways because the depth is different than the dish. Now I do take some time to go around this little edge because this is definitely where bubbles would hide out in this mold. I did not want to spray the mold with isopropyl before I started because I didn't want to impact that the gold pen in there. But yeah, I did take a look to make sure there was no bubbles hiding underneath the rim of that cup. And there's where I added a little bit of the clear, and I just let it sit. I did. You don't notice that I put the clear in when I'm done. Now for these little guys, I'm just going to use the same mix of the glitter I have mixed up. I'm going to add a little bit different color to it. I'm going to add some of that garnet from the Let's Resin into the cup and some gold and some pink. Just see what color I get. This is, again, just playing around with the glitters that I have. So I'm just going to pour this into 2 of them, see how much resin I have left over. These are going to be fairly plain Jane. I'm not doing, you know, anything extra. You could very easily, when these are done, make something with your, if you have a Cricut or silhouette, make something. I'm just going to add some of that berry glitter to this, see if it makes any difference in the color. In the end, I don't think it really made a big difference. I'm also adding some more of the gold. And I have extra resin left over, so I think I'll look through my little pile here, see what else I want to pour. I have my my go-to bear, so I'm just going to add the rest of that glitter into my resin and fill him up. And I'm going to add some hearts that I had. Again, I think this came from the dollar store, Dollarama. There was like a pack of 5 little glitter pots. So I'm going to get that poured and see how much resin I have left over. I added the whole jar in. You don't really see these hearts when it's done. I probably should have saved that for a different project where you could really see the hearts. Now this one I did decide to add the glue. As always, I added too much. 1 drop is plenty. And this just makes it real goopy. I knew with the bear it would really sink down, so I added the glue to keep so that glitter stays more distributed throughout them. Here I spent quite a bit of time giving some squizzes because I could not get it into the ears. It just got a little too gloopy and it didn't seem to be going into the ears, so that's what I'm doing here is I'm just playing around, poking it down into the ears, and then, you know, kind of crossing my fingers that as it dried, it was down in there and didn't have any bubbles. I kind of, when you put the glue in it, it kind of reminds me of snotty slime. But 1 drop would have been plenty. That glue goes a long ways when you add it to the resin. All right, guys, I'm going to just give these a little spritz with my isopropyl, and then I will see you when these are cured. Our pieces are dry, so let's start with the extras that I made. I poured this little keychain. This one, I think I'll have to top coat this because with this mold, the shininess has worn off, which happens over time with molds. So I'll probably just top coat that. I did my little polar bear. And I did the bigger bear. I hope it got down into his ears. I was a little worried. I tried to get it in there, but because I added the glue to it, it thickens it up so much that you hope that it gets down into those smaller areas. Oh, it did. That ear's good. Oh, both ears look good. Oh, he's so cute. And you can see putting the glue in, how that glitter is evenly distributed amongst them. It didn't all float up to the top, which is what it normally does. That's cute. Very cute for Valentine's. Okay, let's take a look at these little guys. So you can see, let's see if the camera picks it. Yeah, it does. See how it has the holographic look to it? Pretty cool. And each one is a bit different pattern. Now those would be nice to use a Cricut. You could put a name on it, or you could put I love you. And add it to a Valentine's Day gift. That glitter's pretty too. All right, let's take a look at our heart dish. I'm going to use that gold pen. So let's see how that came out. Oh, nice. Oh, that came out really nice. That gold pen looks really nice in there, and you know it's there to stay. And the glitter. Oh, that's cute. Let's take a look at the bottom. Look at that. Oh, that came out so nice. And no bubbles. I don't feel any bubbles. Now I didn't put the glue in this one, but as you can see, it looks good. It filled out nice. The glitter looks good. Lid fits nicely. Ah, that is so pretty. I like that. Cute little gift. All right. So putting the pen on before you pour your resin works out great if you're doing a piece with the Let's Resin Gold markers. I love the lid. So sparkly. All right. Thank you for joining me. I will put some pictures in here. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.